Ah, man, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? It's been like, what, 8 months since the last time we uploaded a Jax Spade video? And we can't do the EA one because every time we say EA more than 10 times in a video, the computer wants to delete all the voice files and refuse to render it. Ah, man, this sucks. What do you think, Craz?
Look, I don't fucking know. All I know is that if we don't get a video out soon, then we're all doomed.
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
Did somebody say Doom? Was that a JoJo reference? Hey everybody, welcome back to the program after, an 8-month hiatus. So basically, instead of doing the EA video because my computer wants to kill itself every time I say EA more than maybe 10 times, I am going to do a video about Doom, one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. And if you notice the title, haha, it fooled you. April Fools. Don't worry, I'm not going to rickroll until like the very end after the whole blank screen thing. So for all, I don't know, like 2 of you who don't know the whole history of Doom, I'm gonna let Spade take it away. First-person shooters have actually been around for a while before Doom, with games such as 3D Monster Maze, Strafe, and id's own 3D Battle Tank, but they didn't really hit popularity until id made a game called Wolfenstein 3D. The popularity of first-person shooters only skyrocketed after Wolfenstein 3D. Id was asked to make a sequel, but they ended up turning it down to make a game called Doom. That sequel will later be turned into Rise of the Triad by 3D Realms. But enough with that, let's talk about Doom. Doom's engine was actually rather unique. It was built to be able to run whole 3D areas, but still be able to run on most computers of the time. And if you know anything about retro computers, then you know that most computers of the time were pretty much potatoes. Upon release, Doom was an even bigger hit than id could ever imagine, and unfortunately, the game violence ended up landing it in a court case.
That's right, fuckers. You heard of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse? Well, Doom was one of the 3 horsemen of the ESRB, along with Mortal Kombat and, Night Trap. Why was this a fucking issue?
While we're not going to get into the court case here today, what we can say is that, well, the court case was more or less about the influence of violent video games on the youth. So, the ESRB was made, and Doom was one of the first games to receive an M rating, along with Mortal Kombat and, well, Night Trap. Doom 2 released not too far after Doom 1, but then it went on a bit of a hiatus for a while.
Wait, does that mean that we're Doom 3?
No, Craz, we are not Doom 3. Doom 3 released a, well, mixed reception. Basically, people weren't taking too much to the survival horror game that it was, even though it was pretty innovative for its time. The main complaint that I saw a lot was actually that people didn't like the flashlight being a separate weapon that you had to equip, unequip whenever you wanted to shoot, and then re-equip to be able to see in the dark. Which this was actually later fixed by a mod, and then the Doom 3 BFG edition made this mod an official component of the game. After Doom 3, the Doom series actually went on a bit of a hiatus. Doom 4 was originally planned to be released around sometime in the 2010 area, but was never seen. Mainly because the developers trashed the entire game because they felt it was a little bit too much like Call of Duty or something like that. And then 2015 rolled around. We had E3, and it was announced. A reboot of sorts. That's not really a reboot, but still. Doom. A fast-paced first-person shooter that was described by the people who made it as imagine Bruce Lee on a skateboard with a shotgun. And it was exactly that. Yeah, you probably don't want to know what my reaction to the trailer was.
Oh really? Because I got it right here. Let's watch it.
Oh, fuck! Ah! Doom! Oh, fuck! Look at that fucking blood! Ah! Shit! My human's dick fell off! Ah, it's so good! Okay, well, Doom 2016 was actually released to critical acclaim, and many people said that it was a fresh new take on the genre. Although, I see it more as a retro remake. And if you want to see more what I'm talking about, check out Stop Skeletons from Fighting video on the retro remake of Doom. It's actually pretty interesting. As for the fans of Doom, well, the first 2 games are actually still getting a lot of support. From WODs like Brutal Doom and Project Brutality, you have a whole bunch of other WODs that are still being made even to this day.
So what are my personal thoughts on Doom? Well, when my human was a small little boy, he actually played Doom when he was 10. It was actually one of the first PC games that he played, along with Civilization, I believe it was 2. So he actually has a good bit of nostalgia for it, and so do I, because that's around the time that I became bond with him. Later on down the line, Doom 3 was actually the first special edition game that he ever owned. He actually picked up the steelbook case of it from a flea market. Now, please do not crucify my human for this, but he didn't play Doom 2 until about 3 years ago. At that point, he only played Doom 1, Doom 3, and Doom 3 BFG Edition. And he ended up playing Doom 2 through the BFG Edition. So, there's not much nostalgia there, but it is actually a pretty good game. Nowadays, we play Doom 1 and 2 using the GZ Doom engine, which is a source port that allows the mods very easy and everything for things such as Project Brutality and Brutal Doom. And it also allows controller play because we are scrubs. Now, Doom 3 is a bit of a rough spot. The original version, it's a love-hate kind of thing, mainly due to the flashlight, but if you play Doom 3 BFG Edition as if it was just a regular Doom game with the flashlight always on, then it actually becomes pretty enjoyable. And as for Doom 2016, well, we got a poster on the wall, we got the physical copy for the Xbox One, we got the PC copy, we got all the DLC, we got everything Doom. It's one of our favorite games right next to Conker's Bad Fur Day, which we have every copy of. So yeah, Doom 2016 was actually a very, very good game for both me and my human. So yeah, as a series, Doom is actually pretty solid. There's only really been one dip in quality, but compared to most other games, that isn't much of a dip. The only other games that can really come close to it, quality-wise, over a whole series, are a series like Killer Instinct, and that only has like 3 games in it. So yeah, I love Doom. And maybe later on, I'll be making reviews of the different WODs and everything, such as Brutal Doom, Project Brutality, or one I don't really want to touch unless everybody votes for it.
While the violence of the games isn't really my taste, I do really like the Doom franchise for its gameplay and its innovations. If it wasn't for Doom, then we wouldn't have modern video games like Call of Duty and such. Although I'm not the biggest fan of Call of Duty. I like Borderlands more. It has more jokes. Claptrap's my favorite.
I love Doom for the amount of violence, and also what it entailed for the rest of the industry. It led to games being more violent and seen as an adult product, and led to the ESRB rating system so that way less kids could be getting their hands on violent video games if their parents actually paid attention to it.
Well, that's all of our opinions. I guess this is the end of the video.
You still don't know how to put endings on videos, do you?
Nope.
Well, that's it for this video. If you like it, like and subscribe. Don't worry, the next video will not take an entire 8 months to come out. Next video will be out in about 2 weeks. It'll be a discussion video that'll be out of character. And next video after that will be a Steaming Kyle video. Finally, after all this time. If you like what I'm doing and want to follow what I'm doing, go check my Twitter down below. And if you want a good webcomic to read, you should read my girlfriend Loxy's. It's Thursday Fathoms and the 13 Phantoms. Real good. She's on a temporary hiatus, but it'll be back soon. I bet you thought the rec roll was here. Go check after the intro. By the way, like, I'm adding this in without, like, any filters or anything. While I was recording this, halfway through my nose just, like, bursted into freaking blood. So, I recorded half of this with my nose bleeding all over the mic. So, if, like, there's any changes in the audio, then that explains it.